I hope you guys are excited that we're coming back. I just wanted to show you where our new location is so that you can all find it. This building behind me is our new location, and we are everything you see there from that red sign that is ours. That's our prep room. It's not the door you would go through. All the way over to this door that's right here. There is a red sign there. It will help you. Let's go backwards and I'll show you where we are. And then I'm going to show you a few other parts of the campus that are around us so that you can find your way around. So you can see that red sign right there. That does say the funeral service department. And we are off of the main parking lot that you see here for staff. So you are going to actually park over at the Spring Street lot or at the Burnell lot. Burnell is our old building. So Spring Street would be found through this parking lot. I'm going to give you directions here, but you can see that here is the science building. There's an entrance to the parking lot over there that you can pull in from one direction. You cannot pull in from the other from the main road. So you just have to go around and come in front of the Kelly Gym and you can pull in there. But from directly across from there is the Spring Street lot. And when you park in the Spring Street lot, there is a shuttle bus that will bring you over, but there is also a nice walkway. It's not that bad. Just cross the, over by the railroad tracks, cross the road. You can come and you can just walk right through this parking lot. The walkway will bring you right over to our building. So let me show you a few other areas that may be interest to you because here's our suite, and I will show you our suite, don't you worry. I know not all of you will come to campus, so you're going to want to see what that looks like. But here's the science building that is directly next to us. So let's take a walk. So I'm going to flip this around so you can see what we're looking at. But here we are. Here's our science building. When you walk through, there's lots of seats, but I'm going to bring you all the way down to the lobby. The nice thing with this location is that you're going to have access to a lot of places to hang out, so you don't have to hang out in the suite. The suite's going to be locked when classes are not in session. Of course, if you need to study, you want access to the anatomical models, to the merchandising displays on the wall and all of that, you still have access to all of it, don't you worry. We'll open the door, we'll let you in, we'll sit with you, we'll be there. Now, just so you know that our offices are not over here yet. They will be eventually, but for now, at least for the semester, we are still over in the Burnell Hall. Our offices are still right where they used to be. Those have not changed, just the classrooms have moved over to here. All right, so this is the lobby of the science building. So you can see that there's going to be a lot of vending machines around, so if you're looking for vending machines, don't worry. But there's a cafeteria. The main cafeteria is right over here as well. So you can see that there's some vending machines in there. And then you have this nice lobby that you can hang out in. Okay, so some nice chairs. They do have events, so just be careful. There's occasionally an event taking place in here, as you can see that they're set up for. This is the opening week, so there's a lot going on here. So let's go outside. And I'm going to show you that there is a eating area out here as well, just for reference. Right through that area, the brick that you see there, that is our building. So you can come right over if you want to kind of have a little picnic out here, eat your lunch outside. This is kind of a nice little setup here. So you have inside, you have outside. Now, we're going to take a walk up the hill, and I'll continue talking as we do that. So, kind of give you a reference as to where we're walking here. So now, with this, we are directly across from the library and from the main cafeteria. Now, over by the dorms, there are some dorms on this side of the campus as well, but on the other side of the railroad tracks where the dorms are, if you go around, go up to the train. And if you're taking the train in, I will send out a map, don't you worry. So there's a map that is coming out with this email that I'm sending you this video on. But if you're taking the train to get to us, when you get off, just walk through the dorms, walk straight down, kind of down the hill. I guess you could only walk in one direction. The woods is on the other side. So when you come up, just keep walking down, follow that, go under the railroad tracks. When you go under the railroad tracks, you'll start to see our building. So that's really not another bed. On the other side of the campus, there is two other cafeterias. Those cafeterias include kind of an all-you-can-eat. They do at some point. You swipe your card. That's really meant for those that are in the dorms. Well, that's how it's designed. It's not exclusive. But for those that are in the dorms, it's meant for swiping your card, getting as much as you want to eat for your meal plan. There is a point that they switch meals, and they do tell you just need to swipe in. Or you can also pay by credit card, pay a set fee for that meal. And each meal's different, and you can eat. The food is typically out. There's your salad bar. There's some things under the warmer. There's some areas that they have, that they'll have a few things scoopable kind of foods for your plate. Now, behind that, there's a late night cafeteria. So if you're here late at night, you're studying, or if you live in the dorms, that's the cafeteria where you would eat your meals later at night if you're trying to grab a late dinner. But I do want to show you, and I'm going to turn around just so you can see here right past the officers. But the bear's den is in this building here. We're not going to walk over there, don't worry. There's a lot of walking involved here. But the bear's den would be that side. So when you walk in, you'll see the desk, take a right. There's a great lobby there as well. So that's a great place to hang out as you first enter. And then you can eat, you can hang out. You can get your food. You pay for what you get. You weigh your salad, you weigh your yogurt, everything else you pay per the item, and you can hang out in the area where you would eat. You don't have to pay to get to that area, so that's accessible. Then behind us here, just past these trees here, is the library. So we do have our own section of the library as well. So when you go in, there is a Starbucks on this side. If you're looking for the Dunkin' Donuts, it is on the other side of the campus. It's across from the bookstore and the cafeteria that I said all you can eat for that meal. So here's the Maxwell Library. When you go in straight across the street, you can go into this door or this door. And when you go in, this is the back side of the library, by the way, so the front side is facing the other street. So when you come in, you're just going to be in tunnels of hallways with offices, and there's a Starbucks in here, there's a lobby. When you see that, go up the elevator or go up the stairs. And when you see the library desk, these people are here to help you, honestly. Use them to your advantage, ask them questions. They'll help you find books that you're looking for reference. You have access to both this library and the library on the Cape. The library on the Cape, you will have, unless you're going down there, you have a lot of electronic access, but if you ask them, they have all the books you need. They have the specific resources for us. They have a database called the Morgue that is specific to funeral service, and that will give you access to books from across the country at every mortuary institution, every thanatology institution, everything, forensics, everything. So you have all of that, which is phenomenal, and you can use that to your advantage. But here at the Maxwell Library is where our physical collection is, that is sent up here. It is maintained by our librarians on the Cape, but provided up here. So you go into one of these two doors, go in, find the elevator, find the staircase. Again, it's across from Starbucks. And then you go up to the second floor. You have the library desk to your right as you come up the stairs. Go to the left. And when you go to the left, you will just kind of follow it back in the direction you came from. So it's actually that corner right there would be on this side of the building. So just come right back that way, and you will find our collection. And we have our own shelf. We have our whole from one end to the other, really. We have our own shelving unit, and it's marked for Cape Cod, so you can find it very easily, and it does have all the funeral stuff. So let's go back down, and I'm going to show you what our suite looks like. Well, while I do this, I just want to say a few things that make you a good student. Okay, one, a good student is going to be attentive to what they need to do. Now, a lot of education in general does include a lot of regurgitation, and that's not bad, but you're learning facts and figures, and that's how you get through grade school. That's how you can get through some degrees, is through these facts and figures. And when it comes to doing a profession or doing something like funeral service embalming, you really need to know and understand, because everybody that comes in is going to be different. Every family that you serve is going to be different. And for that reason, we need to treat them different, but we need to take the material that you know, and we need to be able to apply it. And that's what's really important, is you need to be able to apply that information. You can see here we're going into our suite. So let me walk backwards so you can actually see what you're looking at here. So this is as you enter our suite. This is the mailbox. So if you have any, there'll be a sign above that, but if you have any lab reports, embalming reports, all that, our mail, you're trying to drop something off for us, there's a lock on this, drop it in, and we will get that mail. All right, so coming in, here's our suite. Okay, so we're still in the process of decorating, so bear with us on that. But we'll have our admin office so that you can find, we don't have a admin at the moment, but when we have an admin, that's where you'll find them. They'll be kind of your point of contact for any forms or anything that you have to do to get started and kind of move through the program. So next we have our classroom. I'm gonna show you from the other door, don't worry, but we'll go through. And then, my key out here. So classroom, again, we have a hallway. So you can see that we're going down part in the stuff that's sitting in the hallway here. So as we're entering in, you can see it's kind of the preliminary setup here, but we are working. I do have Mathers Aurora coming today in order to work on this slat wall. So they will, they'll have some stuff up on that as well. But we still have our conference table in the back. So you have tables. I know a lot of you are excited. The existing students are extremely excited that we now have tables and not the desk. So let me get back here. The light will turn on. There we go. So our conference table and everything, so you can kind of see what the room looks like. Okay. So, so again, what makes you a good student is being attentive and understanding. And when I say understanding, don't ask, is this on the quiz? Is this on the exam? Okay, it's irrelevant, to be honest, because what you're learning is you're learning understanding. And we're not going to ask you, I mean, we will ask you some facts and figures. We will on a quiz possibly say, what is this part of the casket? What is, what type of corner is this on the casket? What instrument is this for embalming? We do ask you those questions, and you do need to answer those, and those are facts and figures. But when it comes to understanding, you need to be able to conceptualize. So now the question that you should be getting on your quizzes that you need to conceptualize and understand what you're doing wouldn't be, what kind of corner is that? The question is, I have a individual that is 36 inches wide. And that individual that's 36 inches wide and 6'11", okay, so you have a larger than average individual. And they bought a grave plot next to their wife, and that plot, they need to be able to fit both of them. What are my options? What's my casket options? How do I guide this family? Okay, and I'll give you a little bit of an information that for a casket that wide, you're going to need 2 plots. So what type of caskets can I cheat? I don't need names. I need features from those caskets that can allow me to cheat the system a little bit to get a larger individual into a normal size casket, or get a larger individual into 2 plots, not 3. So these are features that you need to be able to apply and not just say, that's that. I need to know how. I need to understand, okay? So the same thing goes for all of your subject matter. All right, so we're going to go out of the classroom now and walk down the hall so you can see where we're walking here. And I'm going to bring you into the lab. So I am here. The lights will come on in a second, but once they recognize me. All right, so we have prep tables, and then we have all of your normal tables here with all the anatomical models. The anatomical models are here for your use, so please use them, okay? Come in, study. This is a great way to learn. I'll show you again all of the stuff. And again, please just respect. That's all we ask is respect. We have our cabinet in the hallway as well that we installed. So I brought this in, and this beautiful cabinet, it's got a lot of stuff in it. We just ask that you leave the stuff there, okay? Don't use this for your projects. This is not for use. This is for decoration. This is for display. So please don't put anything in there. Please don't move anything out of there. That's just reality. It's very fragile stuff, and the shelving and the glass in the cabinet itself is very fragile. So you don't want to be responsible for, something breaks or something like that. So, all right. So again, anatomical models, use these to your advantage. There's lots of whiteboards in this room as well. As you can see as I spin around here, there is a lot of whiteboards. I did that intentionally in this room because that way you can practice your math. You can practice labeling. We can put an anatomical model right in front of it, and we can draw things, a label, like this is what it is. For using the whiteboard right behind it, you can draw on every one of these prep tables. You can also draw on with the dry erase marker, that is. Use a dry erase marker right on the thing. We have plenty of markers here. We have plenty of erasers. You can see that table, you can see some writing on it. So that's the formulas for the body that was put out on that table, figurative body that was put out on the table, and the students in my class will label as to the steps of what they would do, what chemicals you would use, the pressure, rate of flow, all of that. So we do have 2 sinks in the department. We have one hidden back there, and then we have one in our prep room as well. Again, I just asked, there's a lot of stuff in here, so in here and in the classroom, so and there's going to be a lot more coming in. So we just ask that there's always respect for these areas and for the materials. But again, we do encourage you to stop by, study, use the materials as long as we're here with you. You can stop by, you can use the materials. Again, that's what they're there for. All right, so there was a cabinet in front of here, but there was a window. So when we're working in the prep room, you will not have bodies at this time, but through that window, we can open it up, and you're able to look through that window, and you'd be looking over the foot end of the theoretical deceased. So I'm going to bring you in the prep room. Again, as you can see the signage, standard state required signage. We just urge that the prep room be a sacred space. So you can see the window, you can see the flush sink, you can see our table. Do try to keep our tables covered if we can, and there'll be more covers coming in for the other tables. So when you're working on them, just take the covers off before you do anything on the tables, obviously. All right, so we have all of the normal items, and there's a lot more coming in, and you can see the restorative art cart behind me there. So this is the outside door. Please do not be coming in and out through that door, but that door is there. Obviously, emergency exit, as well as that door is used for deliveries to bring things in. So we can go out, we don't come back in. But again, the prep room is going to be used. We'll be utilizing this for restorative art, for embalming, things like that. But again, just try to keep these doors closed, locked. This is the door that goes out to the hallway from this room. We're just going to try to keep these areas kind of off limits out of respect for whatever we do. The sanctity of what we bring into this room, obviously we have to be concerned. There are chemicals in this room, and there are anything we bring, any animal or anything that we were to embalm. We obviously don't want the general public or those in the hallway to see more than they have to. Not that we're doing anything, but it's just for the sanctity of what we do. Even though we don't have humans, please treat this room as if it was a prep room with humans, because that's just how we run our profession. So with this email, you will find a map. You're going to find of where we are. I'm going to send you the train schedule, and I'm also going to be sending, if you're also seeing in this email, there's the orientation video as well. If you missed orientation, or even if you're an existing student, please watch back the orientation. There's a lot of great resources in there. The how to take an exam, how to do note-taking, all of that is there. I've also attached those videos that we took separately. I also put those separate as well. Those are the pre-recorded, separate from the orientation, so I encourage everybody to watch those. There's some really vital information in there. The one question we get asked the most is, I'm not getting it, I'm not doing well in my classes, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And most of the case, when that comes up, it's that your study habits are not correct. Your note-taking is not correct. You may think it is because that's how you've always gotten through, but then you're now in a setting where you realize it's not going to work. Okay, so what worked before or what worked for other majors may not work for this. So please watch these note-taking. Please watch these test-taking videos because they're vital. And it really is a science. It really is. It's got its own subject matter. So again, watch those and make yourself a better student, okay? That's the first thing I'm going to ask you is if you don't, I'm going to say, did you watch the video? The other thing is be attentive during class. I can't say this enough, whether you're in the classroom or whether you are on the screen, if you're on Zoom, be attentive in the classroom, okay? Don't be doing something else. Don't be, whatever else is going in your life. Find places that you can hide. And I know that's hard. I know you have kids and workplaces and all of that. Okay, workplaces, just say, look, this is my study time. I know it's hard to do, but this is my study time. I need to be in class, and then I will do all the work you need me to do. I'll stay late or whatever I need to do in order to do that work. But this time is sacred. This time is I am in class. I'm not doing your work or answering the phones, because if you're doing that, you're not in class. If you're, you got a lot of family members, friends, all that around you, same thing. It's not, I know you have to watch your kids sometimes, but it's not thing. So just find ways, I know that's easier said than done, but just find ways that you are actually attentive in the classroom, because if you're not doing well, it's probably because you didn't get the information that came from that class. You missed something that we said, and that was very important. So again, be very attentive, take your notes properly, use your notes, use those videos, because I do go over the proper method of pre-course, during the course, and post-course on how note-taking takes place. So that's very important. And if you have questions, again, always reach out. We are always here to help you. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday.